Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. I am never eating another McRib as long as I live. That thing put up a better fight against me Sunday night than any of the lower seeded teams did against their opponents in round one of the college football playoff. We'll go over why people shouldn't be so mad about the lower seeds getting blown out, our predictions for round two after a perfect round one, a hot stove in MLB free agency in the last couple of weeks of the regular season for NFL. Number 133, bringing holiday cheer for all to see.
Live from central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten. Majors go drink, man. Let's go!
So yeah, I was going to record this on Monday, but Sunday night I decided, I was like, hey, let's have a McRib. Well, that was absolutely the wrong decision, and I was just out of commission all day Monday and basically all day Tuesday. It was very bad. I missed all the festivities on Christmas Eve last night. But yeah, Sunday, woke up at like 12:30, started puking. Monday, couldn't stop shitting. Tuesday, couldn't stop shitting. It was bad. So yeah, never, ever going to have another one in my life. But I am glad that we coincidentally ended up waiting until Wednesday because I opened up John's present to me. Holy shit, thank you, John, friend of the podcast. Look at that. Xavier Leggett. Dollar bill, y'all. Let's go. This is sweet. Thank you so much, John. That's awesome. All right, so like I said last week, I made my way out to the whiteout in Penn State, but the first whiteout we're going to talk about is Sammy Sosa. Sosa has apologized to the Cubs, acknowledging, but not fully accepting, that he used steroids, and he'll now be invited to the Cubs events as long as he doesn't fuck it up and keep using steroids. This kind of just came out of the blue. I don't know why he wants to be involved with the Cubs now. I mean, yeah, the Cubs are making a little bit of moves, but they just got rid of Cody Bellinger because it's a just salary dump. That's what the Pirates are doing. The other thing I wanted to get into here before going over some free agents is Rickey Henderson has sadly passed away at 65. The great Rickey Henderson was the first. He could have been, in today's MLB, a perennial 50-50 player. I mean, there is no... Oh, my God. He would be so good in today's MLB. What's his record for stolen bases? Like 136 in a season or something stupid like that? 130 in 1982. That's ridiculous. Could you imagine him now with the rules that they have in place, like for more stolen bases to happen? He'd be up to 200. He broke 100 steals 3 times in 1980, 1982, and 1983. And he has 1,406 career steals, 50% higher than the previous record of 938 by Lou Brock. Rickey Henderson. All right, let's go over some of these free agents here. So since last week, oh God, there's been a lot. So the Bellinger trade was like the last thing that we left off on. Then the Phillies signed Max Kepler, Gio Urshela to the A's, Patrick Sandoval to the Red Sox. The Red Sox are doing a lot of stuff. Yankees trade Trevino to the Reds for Cruz and Jackson. I don't know who either of those two are. Astros brought in Christian Walker, 3-year deal, $60 million. Pirates could have afforded that. Goldschmidt to the Yankees on a 1-year deal. The Guardians trade Josh Naylor to the Diamondbacks, and then they signed Carlos Santana in place of him. So first, Nathaniel Lowe was traded to the Rangers. The first base market after the Pirates made their move has been insane. Of course, the Pirates were the first one to pull the trigger. They're looking back on it with hindsight. They could have easily landed any of these guys. The Nationals traded for Nate Lowe? Are you kidding me? For a reliever? And then Carlos Santana signed the 1-year deal with the Guardians for $12 million. Please. Carlos Santana, I think, probably would have been better than Spencer Horwitz. I hope that he's not, but God, Spencer Horwitz needs to develop some power and fast. All right, then after all that first base craziness, the Phillies traded for Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins. Sean Manaea signed another 3-year deal with the Mets on a $75 million deal, $25 million for Sean Manaea per year. That's insane. The Rangers added Jock Peterson, Walker Buehler to the Red Sox on a $21.5 million deal. They're really hoping he bounces back after his first full season of Tommy John, after Tommy John. And then the big one for the Pirates, McCutchen is back with them. 1 year, $5 million deal. This one really feels like a farewell tour for Kutch, though. I don't know. He really was pushing everything out of the tank last year. We'll see what he can do this year. God, I still feel so tired. So this one's going to be a little bit bare bones. So yeah, a lot of movement in MLB right now. We'll take a chance to kind of sit down and talk about this. This was this weekend, after going to the Penn State game on Saturday and then getting sick for the past 2 days. It's just been like time has just passed me by. All right, let's move on to college football. First thing that happened before round one, Diego Pavia gets like an 8th year or something and has opened up a whole can of worms for JUCO years not counting towards NCAA eligibility. Ooh, even Steve Sarkisian was like, we don't want a whole bunch of 6th and 7th year players all the time. We don't want another like COVID period. This is just not good for the sport. All right, first game up, Indiana at Notre Dame. Before the game, it was so funny, and everyone has talked about it so much already. Shane Gillis called out Alabama for paying their players and then called Nick Saban Alabama Jones. It was perfect. It was too good. All right, it did look like it was going to be a defensive battle early on, but Indiana was playing exactly how they played against Ohio State, and they were not taking what Notre Dame was giving them. They just wanted to play their brand of football, but they found out pretty fast that it was not working again. Immediately after I said it was a defensive game, 98-yard touchdown run from Notre Dame. Never looked back. And I didn't even know this. Indiana hasn't won at Notre Dame since 1898. Not 1998, 1898. What? I didn't even know football existed in 1898. Indiana fared a little better in the second quarter, but Notre Dame was still up 17-3 at halftime. Indiana's offense couldn't really get anything going past the 50-yard line. They would hit the 50 and immediately stall out. They just became ice blocks. They were frozen. Notre Dame, I think, is legit. And I said this on Friday night, at least as legit as Ohio State. We'll see. They were not letting Indiana do anything. I went to sleep after Notre Dame went up 20-3 with 4:21 left in the third quarter. The game ended 27-17 between Indiana and Notre Dame, but it may as well have been 50-0. Notre Dame controlled this game from start to finish. They let off the gas pretty early on in the second half, let Indiana get some garbage time touchdowns. There was no chance for Indiana. And then Lane Kiffin wants to be running his mouth over here, but Ole Miss would have gotten their shit pushed in against Notre Dame up in South Bend in this weather. There's no way Ole Miss would have fared any better. So yes, the Penn State game, the whiteout game, like I said, got up at 4 o'clock, left at 4:30. I was like 10th in line for the lot that we were in. It was amazing. I took a couple pictures of the lot that we were parked in before anyone else got there, and it was just so pristine. Everything was very quiet. Then we got into the lot. It was almost madness. Right when we started parking, everyone started pulling out their tents, starting to get tailgate going. The whiteout theme went with Christmas so well, and there was snow all over the place, so I loved it. This atmosphere, though, felt a little bit different than like a normal regular season game. It felt like everyone was there to do a job and to do it well. Yeah, people were having fun and tailgating was in full swing, but it didn't seem as rowdy as it normally does. It being 25 degrees certainly didn't help the festivities outside of people's closed tents. Yeah, the walk over to the stadium was nice. Got to see the band pass by. And then walking into the stadium, up to the seats, through the tunnel. We come out in the section, and right away you're just on the rail on the field. And I took a panoramic of everything. I took so many pictures from this angle. This was incredible, being so close to the field. I have never ever sat so close for a football game ever. And the view from the seats, I think, was even better.
All right, so it's like 27 degrees right now. It doesn't feel that cold. I'm hyped up. Let's go. This is my seat. We got everyone on the field here for warm-ups. Got about 45 minutes till kickoff. Let's go!
Just an incredible time. At first, I was like, oh, Penn State's punting the ball. And then I was like, ooh, SMU's in field goal range. But instead of taking the points, they decided to go for it on fourth down. Everything just went terrible for SMU after that. It was bad. The stadium erupted on that pick six. It was amazing. I did not get too many videos like during the game. I would just take pictures like in between. I wanted to be present in that moment. It was nice not having the phone out. But also, to get my phone out, I would have had to take my gloves off to get the screen unlocked. So I didn't want to do that at all. That's the real reason. But I did bring it out for halftime. And SMU's band was playing, Do You Remember the 21st Night of September on December 22nd? Penn State's band, however, was playing a little bit more appropriate themed music. Appropriately themed music. So the last picture I took was of the press box at halftime. And after that, I just I didn't wander around the stadium too much, but I definitely took my time, like looking for stuff. I got a chicken tender basket, got more hot chocolate. It was a great day. Team performed excellently. The weather did not stop me from going. It was pretty warm the whole time. I put on 2 more layers going into the game. I put on my coveralls and then my sweatshirt. I was actually going to show you my sweatshirt. I just did laundry. Today was the first day that I washed it since Saturday. It had dirt all over it, but it was a great time. I loved going. I would definitely go to another playoff game. Penn State won that one easily, 38-10. And yeah, I don't have a lot of notes on these Saturday games because it was chaotic. Immediately when I got home, I took a shower to go to my high school reunion. Then I was at my high school reunion all night, kind of watching, Ohio State blow out Tennessee peripherally. Wow, 21-0 in the first quarter. Ohio State, you were playing mad. This really was an emotional team, and they took it all out on Tennessee. I don't know about all out because I think they still got more in the tank for Oregon, and that's going to be a great game in the Rose Bowl. But let's go over this Clemson-Texas game first. What did I say last week? As long as Texas kept it clean, they were easily going to win. And I'll tell you what, this was actually the most exciting game for the first 8 minutes, and then it just turned into the rest of the games. The first 8 minutes were pretty competitive. Clemson was up 7-0, and then it was just straight off a cliff. Texas scored 21 points in the second quarter, I think, after that, and it was just never looked back again. Texas demolished Clemson 38-24, I believe. Yeah. They also kind of let off the pedal in the second half a little bit. Oh, goddamn, I'm tired. Oh, and then the final score of that Tennessee-OSU game was 42-17. I mean, that was just terrible. And everyone's like, you going to give Indiana and are you going to give Tennessee the same energy that you gave Indiana and SMU? And everyone shut up real fast after that. And I don't know what's going on with Kirk Herbstreit and the rest of the people at ESPN and First Take. What the hell is going on there? I don't know. I'll be a little bit more tuned in this week. And speaking of the announcing for these games, me and my dad noticed it like a couple weeks ago. It was just a random game, but these announcers seem to have no problem ripping into these bad teams this year. It's like kind of absurd how like it's almost unprofessional, at least disguise the insult. And if you can't, don't say it. I've never in my life seen such blatant disrespect from these announcers. Maybe they think it's funny to do that since it's what works on College game day, but not during the game when the announcers should be unbiased spectators. That's just kind of crazy. I'm really glad I didn't have to listen to that at all. All right, but after last week, we were 4-0 in the first round. Let's see if we can maintain perfection. All right, first game up, and the only game that's on New Year's Eve at 7:30, Penn State versus Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. Penn State all the way. I mean, there should be no question about it, obviously. This will be like playing in heaven after that game last week, playing in a dome in Arizona. It might be another blowout, but I can see this one being a little bit more competitive, maybe like 34-20 instead of 38-10. All right, first game of the New Year's, the Chick-fil-A Bowl with Texas playing Arizona State. I'm kind of torn over this one. I do think that ASU is kind of a similar team to Clemson, but with Scadaboo, they should be able to control the clock a little bit more and not have Texas put up 21 points against them in the second quarter. And I think Kenny Dillingham might be a little bit better of a coach than Dabo Swinney, at least this year. I think this one is a little lower scoring than people think. I'm going to go Texas 28-24. We'll see if they can play clean football again, though. All right, the top rematch of the year is up next, and it may be the most anticipated matchup of the year, period. Ohio State is up against Oregon in a classic Rose Bowl matchup, Big Ten against the classic Pac-12. I think Ohio State wins this game. That was an impressive showing against Tennessee, whose defense has been awesome all year, and they just hung 42 on them. Oregon has not really been very impressive the past couple of weeks and let a less dynamic Penn State offense put up 37 points against them in the Big Ten championship. So Oregon better watch their backs. I don't know. Their defense hasn't been so great. Ohio State might put up 50 against them if they're not careful. I do like Ohio State in this one, 38-31. All right, the last game of the day has a chance to leave Texas as the SEC's only hope at a title shot. Notre Dame is going up against Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. This Notre Dame team is complete and will have a field day against Gunnar Stockton, who will be starting after Carson Beck just had successful surgery on his UCL. I think they could have put more points up on IU. They just chose not to. I think Notre Dame's going to win this one like 33-24 or something crazy like that. I think people will be shocked. Notre Dame, this team is awesome, and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the national championship. I would not be surprised if they beat Penn State. Let's just put it that way right now. So Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and Notre Dame. That's a great top four semifinal. Wow. What a first year for the expanded 12-team playoff. And then I do really want to go over the rest of the bowl games. Maybe we'll go over them after next week, like in between the week where it's nothing before the national championship. Maybe that's when we'll go over the rest of the bowl games. Like I said, this week has just been chaotic, and I'm struggling right now. So Teddy Bridgewater wants to return to the NFL, huh? As a coach, are you really going to submit that video of you throwing the ball with high school kids as some type of film to teams? I'm very confused. Teddy, you haven't played any meaningful football in years. I mean, before COVID at this point. Or do have a realistic comeback. David Montgomery got some second opinions on his MCL, and doctors are hopeful that he can rehab through it and return at some point in the postseason instead of having surgery on it. So that's great news for him. What else? In other news, there have been reports from Diana Rossini, Michael Silver, and Zach Rosenblatt, reputable people, that Woody Johnson turned down a trade for Jerry Jeudy last year because his rating wasn't high enough in Madden. That is the most Jets thing I have ever heard. Are you kidding me? That's like what a 12-year-old would do in Madden. A 12-year-old might have better success running the Jets franchise than Woody Johnson. All right, I did watch Enigma last week on Netflix, and it was pretty good, but we're going to have to go over that at a later date. I am recording this on Christmas Day, so I don't want to be editing this until dinner tonight. So, yeah, since I am recording this on Christmas Day and am going to be editing, it will likely not be out before the Christmas Day games today. the Chiefs at the Steelers, and the Texans at the Ravens. Or Ravens at Texans. I don't know. It is Ravens at Texans. I should have known because they're going to have, Beyonce performing there. God forbid she perform in Baltimore. But yeah, this will likely not be out before then. So hopefully Netflix gets their shit together and has a smooth stream. I don't think as many people are going to be watching these NFL games as people did the Tyson Paul fight. So I think it'll be fine. All right, let's get into week 16 here a little bit. Still did not make any notes for this. This is going to be as bare bones as it gets. This is the only game that I made notes for. The Broncos-Chargers, what happened to the Chargers defense? I don't understand. They are getting shredded weekly. And, of course, Bo Nix was going up against him, and I was going up against Bo Nix in fantasy. He had 19.9 points in the first half. Luckily, he only had 4 points in the second half, but that didn't even matter because I got blown out in the fantasy championship. So this was awesome and something that obviously I've never seen because it happened 20 years before I was even born. The Chargers elect to do a fair catch free kick before halftime after a penalty on the fair catch. We have not seen a successful attempt since 1976, and Dicker smacked it. It was a 57-yard field goal. I mean, that's basically like doing a warm-up kick. That is crazy that this is still a rule. And then Sean Payton was like, oh, yeah, we practice the fair catch free kick all the time, so we knew that. We knew what was going on. Bitch, it hasn't happened in almost 50 years. Yeah, right. There's no way you practice it. So that was really cool seeing history. What an obscure rule. That is so weird. All right, and then since I was busy all day Saturday at the Penn State game and then my high school reunion, I did not watch the Saturday NFL games, which somehow got higher ratings than the first round of the college football playoff. That's kind of insane to me that a random – I could definitely see, Steelers-Ravens getting a pretty high rating, but Chiefs-Texans, that's such a random game. I would rather watch any of the first round college football playoff games. And in that Texans-Chiefs game, Tank Del Toro's ACL, MCL, and LCL, and a dislocated kneecap and meniscus damage. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. Tank Del cannot catch a break. In the past year, he's been shot, tore both of his ACLs, MCL, LCL, dislocated kneecap, meniscus damage. That's ridiculous. His teammate, I think, another receiver, just landed on him when he was in the end zone, and he did manage to hold on to that ball somehow. I would have let go of it immediately. That must have been so damn painful. I guess his kneecap was on the other side of his knee. What? There's no crazy pictures of it or anything. I tried to find a gruesome video to show you guys, but the Chiefs took care of the Texans 27-19. And I guess Mahomes' ankle is just completely fine. And then the next game that day, the Steelers couldn't get it done against the Ravens. Steelers lost 17-34. They were kind of in the game, but then Russell Wilson threw a pick six. Derrick Henry had 162 yards rushing, finally getting involved. Jesus. Ooh, and then I got fucking nothing on these games. God damn. I don't even have anything on the Patriots game. Let's talk about that Patriots game, I guess. They were up 14-7 at halftime, and everyone was shocked. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Drake made 22 for 36, 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Booty had an amazing catch in the first half, in the first quarter. And that was a beautiful throw. I think Booty deserves to stay on the team for a while, especially after this season. You can't get rid of him after he has obvious chemistry with May. But the Patriots were the Patriots, completely blew it. I don't even know how. Sunday is just honestly a blur to me. I wasn't hungover. I didn't even drink on Saturday. It was just I really think that the McRib fucked me up. I really do. Bills won 24-21, and the Patriots were 14.5 point underdogs, so it's at least nice for them to only lose by 3. Falcons won 34-7 after Michael Penix's first start. Bijan had 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. Penix didn't even do that great. He had 202 yards and an interception, 18 for 27. Lions beat the Bears 34-17, and I've never seen this before. A fake trick play? That was the most absurd thing I've ever seen. That's just crazy. And the Lions got their franchise record 13th win. Congratulations to the Lions. They're having a great season. Of course, this was, against the Bears, so we'll see if they can do it against playoff teams. Bengals beat the Browns 24-6. Colts won 38-30 against the Titans. Rams beat the Jets 19-9. Still love to see the Jets in a free fall. Patriots are 3-12. Jets are 4-11. The Commanders beat the Eagles 36-33, and this was a great comeback. Jaden Daniels has 4 touchdowns in the final 30 seconds of the fourth quarter or overtime this season, and he snapped the Eagles' 10-game winning streak. I think the Eagles would have won no problem if if Jalen Hurts would have stayed in the game. I was surprised he was ruled out of the game, though. It didn't seem like he hit his head that hard. So then they had Kenny Pickett in there the whole time, just blowing it every single way he possibly could. Panthers beat the Cardinals in overtime 36-30. Vikings beat the Seahawks 27-24. Raiders over the Jags. Everyone is up. Every Raiders fan is up in arms about the Raiders beating the Jaguars. They're like, what are you doing? We had the number 1 pick locked up. Come on. No. So, yeah, after the Raiders win, the Giants now have sole possession of the number 1 overall pick. And the Patriots got that number 2 overall pick. It might switch because even if the Patriots lose their next 2 games, they're against the Bills and the Chargers, who do have a better record, so their strength of schedule will go up. I think they'll be at least top. The Dolphins beat the 49ers 29-17, and then the Cowboys beat the Buccaneers 26-24. And then the Packers shut out the Saints 34-0. That was the first shutout of the season. That was shocking to me. Spencer Rattler sucks, and maybe they should just keep him in the freezer. I mean, it constantly looks like he just came out of a freezer anyway. Okay, what do we got for week 17? Okay, so like I said, today is Christmas, so we got the Chiefs at the Steelers and the Ravens at the Texans. And Lamar said he was going to go out at halftime and watch Beyonce. He said, I don't care, John, and I'm going out there. Seahawks Bears on Thursday. They may have well just put a game on Friday so that we would have had 5 straight days of football. Chargers were at the Patriots, Broncos Bengals, Cardinals Rams, Jets Bills, Raiders Saints, Colts Giants, Cowboys Eagles, Panthers Bucks, Titans Jags, Dolphins Browns, Panthers Vikings, Falcons Commanders. Oh, that Falcons Commanders game is actually now intriguing because it's going to be a battle of Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix. Some rookie QB action on Sunday Night Football. I like it. And then, man, this was going to be a marquee matchup as of last year. The Lions would have got a chance to avenge their loss in the championship game against the 49ers. But, they should win this one easily against them. Actually, who has more injuries, the Lions or the 49ers? I don't even know at this point. They are definitely the 2 most injured teams in the league. I can tell you that without even looking it up. So let's scroll Twitter here, see if anything's going on. Oh, Chris Jones is out for the game today against the Steelers. I think that's going to be the difference maker. I think the Steelers win now for sure. Damn. Pete Carroll said he's interested in coming back to coaching. If Pete Carroll gets an NFL job before Belichick does, that's insane. Okay, I think that's it. Gonna make my way down to the gas station for a Mega Millions ticket. All right, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Make sure to leave a like and comment on every video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available everywhere, including Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to them. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips throughout the week, and we'll leave you with this. Munch. Man, that was bad.
Live from Central Pennsylvania with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis.
The Ski Stash! The Ski Stash!
Welcome to the Big Ten.
Beijers go drink, mate. Let's go.